Hey yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. This week we have sort of a continuation of last week's video in which we talked about the brand new Power Patron support that was released recently in Blazing Dominion. For this week's video, I'm going to show a bit of gameplay as promised. I haven't been able to commit as much time as I would have liked to the OCG lately with everything that's been happening in Master Duel. For example, a few weeks ago, we actually had Duelist Cup, in which we did very well for only playing 15 hours, as we were in the top 3,000, so that made me pretty happy for not being able to commit as much time as I would have liked. Then, the ranked season reset afterwards, so I committed grinding back up into Masters for Season 49, as you guys can see on my screen now. Plus, the Legend Anthology event just started pretty recently on the 12th, so that has kind of been taking up a little bit of my time as well. Obviously, we have another event coming up here on the 18th, and here soon I will actually be participating in a 512 player tournament called the Deck Master Cup on the 24th of this month, so I've also been preparing for that as best I can. There's another tournament happening on the 31st as well that I'm going to try my best to get entered into, but registration hasn't opened yet, so without further ado, let's just get right into the replay. Alright you guys, in this replay we got paired up against a pure Rocket player, and my opponent is also using the newest support that has come out recently as well. So let's just get right into the duel. We did end up winning the die roll, so of course we elected to go first. And we're going to start off our turn with one of our new support cards called the Power Patron Portal Terminus. If you guys do not know what this card does, it allows you to send a Power Patron monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard, then you can search any Dark Fairy monster from your deck to your hand. Now, the cost, like the downside, is that you cannot declare attacks this turn except with Power Patron monsters. Now, of course, that's not going to come up on our turn 1 since we cannot access the battle phase anyways, but this is going to come up later, unfortunately, as you guys will see, because I make kind of a big misplay here in our duel. Anyways, we are going to search Medius, and I'm going to elect to normal summon Medius. As I said kind of in the intro, I don't have a ton of experience using all of this new support yet, so I'm still kind of trying to learn the lines and maneuver my way through the deck the best that I can. So, given the hand that we have now, I know that our hand is probably crazy, but I'm just doing the line the only way that I know how. For a long time, with the DoomZ support that we had, our best play was normal summoning Medius and going into our little Power Patron, so that's just what I decided to do here. I attempt to activate our DoomZ Power Patron's effect. Of course, that is going to get met with an imperm, so we are not going to be able to Xyz summon into our Diactorus just yet. That's perfectly fine. You know, this card that we have in our hand, Adrastia, our new equip spell, is actually incredible. I love it so much. So what we're going to do is we're going to activate the Adrastia, we're going to equip it to our Power Patron DoomZ, and we're going to activate the effect to pop our Power Patron in order to special summon a DoomZ monster from our hand, graveyard, or banish zone. The monster that we elect to summon, of course, is going to be the Zagredo, since that's the only DoomZ monster that we have in our hand at the time, and our Power Patron is going to be able to search for Raiders. I elected to search for Raiders here since we already had Changer. So here we are going to activate Raiders. Raiders is then going to trigger its effect to pop the Zagredo in order to special summon a DoomZ monster from the deck. Now, on resolution, since our Zagredo is going to the extra deck, that's actually going to trigger with the Amalth. So the Zagredo is going to be able to search our field spell, and Amalth is going to be able to search our Drostia. When I was first initially playing with these cards and going over, like, reading everything, I actually didn't put a lot of weight into Vidalia. I didn't think that this card was very worth playing. I have completely changed my mind on this card. I think that it actually is amazing. I needed a second to learn how to properly use it, you know what I mean? So I actually really like this card now. We're going to activate that. Drostia is going to pop Raiders in order to special summon itself, and then we, of course, are going to equip it with Doomdirk. Doomdirk is our old equip spell, but if you guys don't know what this does, this essentially makes it to where our opponent cannot target us with card effects, and it gives us an attack boost as well, which is pretty sick. Now, with our two other level 4s in the field, Medius and Amalth, we are going to directly make Diactorus, and I'm not going to activate his effect this time around. Instead, I'm going to activate Changer. We're going to send Ilara to the graveyard in order to get our DoomZ Destruction. This is kind of the win condition of our deck. If you guys don't know what this card does, it is essentially Droll and Lockbird, preventing the opponent from being able to search any of their cards. Now, we are going to trigger our Drostia in the graveyard, which is really awesome because it has the ability to re-equip itself to the Drostia, which is super sick. So this equip spell also gives our guy battle protection the very first time that it would be destroyed, kind of turning our Drostrius, this guy, is kind of turning him into a miniature towers, if you will. Next, we are going to overlay Griflario on top of our Diactorus, and we are going to use his ability to detach a card, and I'm going to search DoomZ Raiders for follow-up. Now, this is where I elect to end my turn. So we have quite a bit of interaction here. Griflario, if this guy is dead, we get to special summon, if this guy dies, rather, sorry, we get to special summon a non-Xyz DoomZ monster from our deck or graveyard, so that's going to allow us to gather even more follow-up if we lose Griflario. Plus, it gives us a target to be able to activate our destruction effect right away before the opponent can really do anything. So during the standby phase, when we go to pay for life points, for the cost of Doomderg, I'm going to flip over Destruction as well to prevent any search effects from happening. And then we also have Drostia, which is of course our 3 normal interactions. As soon as you activate Drostia to Xyz Summon to go into Drostias, we are going to be able to steal any monster on the field and equip it to itself, and then it has a monster negate and another steal later on as well. So our opponent is going to start with these new cards, Rocket Loader. I'm not familiar with these new Rocket cards. Unfortunately for our opponent, he's under Droll and Lockbird in a deck that requires quite a bit of searching. So to be fair to our opponent, he's not really able to do anything. There's not really any cards here that he can make, as far as I know, in a pure Rocket list that can really do anything about our DoomZ Destruction currently at the moment. So he's just going to Link Summon, realize he can't really do anything, and then go straight to the end phase. I don't really blame him. DoomZ Destruction is kind of a cringe card. Not gonna lie, Droll and Lockbird is not exactly a fair effect, but it's our deck's win condition, I'm gonna abuse it. During the end phase, we're gonna activate Drostia, and we're just going to eat up the Delingerous. Okay, here we go. It's going to be our turn. Of course, we have Raiders as follow-up. And so during this turn, you guys are going to see I actually blunder. I make a huge misplay, and I'm not afraid to share that with you guys. So Griflario, I'm going to try to activate his effect to search some more cards. Our opponent's going to meet that with an effect veiler. Fair enough. Not much that I can really do about that. So we're going to activate our field spell here, okay? Because we can reveal 1 Power Patron monster, right? Banish a card from our hand face down, and then we can special summon a monster that mentions the revealed card. So I'm going to banish the Fuvalos, and we are going to special summon out Zagredo. Okay? I'm going to leave Zagredo on the field, and this is where I make a catastrophic misplay, my dudes.
Yep, that's my bad. I got a little carried away.
I don't even know what to say. I completely forgot about the fact that we can only declare an attack with Power Patrons the turn that I activate this card. And, it doesn't cost us the duel, luckily, but it does mean that we are not able to win this turn. Now, the reason why I even activated this in the first place is just lack of experience. Not gonna lie, watching over this replay while editing, I realized way too late that I could have just, activated DoomZ Raiders. We could have used Raiders effect, popped the Griflario, right, to special summon another DoomZ from the deck, and then Griflario would have been able to revive one of our DoomZs in the graveyard, and we would have been able to get lethal this turn. But, misplays happen. I'm going to own up to it. I definitely misplayed here. We could have won the game. But it is what it is. Once I realized that I misplayed, I did my best to just make the best of it out of a bad situation. So what I decide to do here is get Medius, of course. We're going to normal summon our Medius. Medius is going to special summon out our other Zigrito, and with both of our Zigritos, I'm just going to make Verudras and pass. So, of course, we go into the battle phase. That's where I learned, oh yeah, kind of misplayed. And once I realized, okay, the misplay happened, I decided to not DoomZ Raiders, afterwards, right? Because if I had popped the Graflario here in order to search or anything like that, then we would have lost our DoomZ Destruction. And I just didn't feel like it was worth losing the Droll effect. We have our Monster Negate and Steel from Drastia Steel, and we have our Omni Negate plus Pop through Veridras, so I felt very comfortable passing, considering our opponent couldn't do anything on turn 1. Of course, now it's going to be main phase 1. They're going to Foolish Bariola card. They're going to send, looks like Rocket Recharger. Rocket Tracer is going to activate his effect, popping itself to special summon out the new Rocket Detonator. And that's pretty much all that they can do, right? They're going to just pass it back to us. And here, I'm going to normal summon Ilara. Ilara is going to just set Changer just to grab a DoomZ card out. And we're going to immediately enter the battle phase and win this game. I absolutely love the support that we've gotten from this deck. I think that it has helped solve all of the problems that DoomZ has. I'm going to be honest, DoomZ is still lacking a little bit of power, but for the most part, a lot of people think that we are going to be getting another wave of support for the Power Patron archetypes for all 3 of them. And I'm really, really hoping that this last and final wave of support for these archetypes kind of boosts our power level just a little bit more. I wish that we could end on a board that had a bit more interaction. However, DoomZ Destruction is an incredibly powerful card, so I can't really complain that we don't have tons of interaction outside of the trap card. Now, obviously, a big part of that is that I still don't really know what I'm doing all the way. I still have a lot to learn as far as DoomZ combos goes, but I'm hoping that you guys will be with me on the road for learning everything that I need to learn. You know what I mean? It's going to be a journey, and I hope that you guys are willing to be a part of that journey with me. So, yeah, man, that's pretty much the end of the video. The duel is over. I appreciate anybody who stayed and watched all the way till the end. If you guys enjoyed the video, maybe consider leaving a like. I would really appreciate it. Maybe share it with a couple of your friends if they also like DoomZ. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!